In this video, let's talk about a relatively old but absolute classic in romantic idol dramas, which is called Autumn's Concerto, but totally different Chinese name, 下一站幸福. If I have to pick favorite dramas from Taiwan, the first one you probably already know would be Mars 战神, and to come very close as the second would be 下一站幸福. This drama aired in 2009, so it's already 10 years. I wish they can do a special event or 10 years anniversary of this drama, because I think statistically it is the second highest viewing count rating on the TV stations statistics. Of all dramas in Taiwan, the first one being Fated to Love You. And funny enough, I found out about this drama later in time. I couldn't remember exactly what year, but definitely not in 2009. So when this drama first came out in 2009, I was completely unaware of it. And then when I found it, I was really surprised that I didn't hear more about it. Somehow it completely escaped my radar. But since then, I have actually rewatched this drama a couple of times throughout the time, and to make this video, I actually looked at it over the past few days again. And the thing about it is, some of the most heightened moments, the best parts of this drama, I still remember it really well, and I know where to find them. Among all the episodes, I can still pick them out. So that means it had left a really strong impression on me. This drama is led by Wu Jianhao, Vanessa Wu, and then An Yixuan. And also it features a second male lead, Wu Kangren, which I talked about in my previous video about The World Between Us. I actually found out about this actor through Autumn's Concerto, and I really like him as an actor as well. This also features very interesting supporting roles, such as the kid. Such an adorable little boy. Oh my god. And he's so good at acting. He's almost not acting at all times. Just completely sells that as a really lovely kid. Because this drama is 10 years old and it's not something fresh and new, and I think I would look at it in a different way as opposed to I review current dramas. I think the strongest point of this drama is definitely the story itself and also the acting. In a way, the acting helps the story also helps the acting. And when you look at the story, it's so trope heavy that you almost feel, how can this drama be a success? It sounds like it has everything, every classic element of Asian dramaland, idol dramaland, romantic dramaland, trope, everything is in there. It has very typical character setup. You have very kind, very good-hearted female lead role, but who is in a very weak position. Both financially, she's from very poor background. Her family is just not good, right? She has a predatory stepfather. It's just her entire world is not very desirable. And you have a male character, the lead male character, who is from a much better background, richer, right? The sort of power dynamic of a strong male and a weaker female in the world's view is so typical. And then they meet and they fall in love. It's the rich boy falls for the poor girl, and then immediately they throw terminal disease, brain cancer, and then they throw the trope of the parents playing a big role of making the lovebirds part, and then one of them lose all their memories. I'm and then the other one has a child with this person who doesn't know he has a child. Oh my god. It is only one big trope short, which is incest. It's finding out you're actually biological brothers and sisters. If they have that, it will be perfect. It will have every trope, literally, in Asia drama land. So the thing is, if you haven't seen this drama before and people try to introduce you to the story and show you the synopsis, you're gonna go, what? What the heck is this? It's so old-fashioned. You almost feel there's no way that this drama is gonna be good. And 真香, in case you wonder what that means, it's a very popular saying in Chinese internet term. Basically, it's just when you say something and you kind of make your opinion or statement and you say, this is definitely not good, and later you realize you were totally wrong. You completely fall for it and you slap your own face. It's 真香. So that's what it is. It is a seemingly very trope-heavy plotline, character setup, everything, and it's so convincing. It makes you feel they're real people it really could happen. I think the reason being, one big part is it really is good acting from everybody in this drama, supporting roles, lead roles. The other thing is, I think if it's made today, probably people would feel this is just too old-fashioned. Back then, it's still not considered as like the most old-fashioned way of telling stories. During the past few days, when I was looking back on this drama, I suddenly have this feeling. I'm not sure if that's one of the reasons that helped the story. That is, it is shot and filmed in such a way that is very unpretentious. These days, dramas have improved a lot during the last 10 years in terms of technical aspects, the way the camera tells the story, all the post-production possibilities, everything has just changed from 10 years ago. In this drama, when you look at like its visual, in terms of like there's no flashy things going on at all, and the color grading almost is like doesn't exist, or it's like there's no clear sort of aesthetic choices of grading things into a particular look. It's almost like you just shoot with your, like my camera that I'm shooting myself, and without doing much of post-production and just put it out there. And obviously there's no skin smoothing, there's no crazy low contrast and bright light on the actors' faces to completely obliterate their texture on their skin. It's just so unpretentious and so unpolished in that way that it makes it feel more realistic. I've also noticed that they are very, very sparing with camera angles. For example, when the lead male character in Guangxi, played by Wu Jinghao, finally remembered his past by looking at the photos in the flash drive, and then he went really emotional. So that is a very, very important sequence in the drama. While he was remembering things, and then it cuts back to the flashbacks of the things that he remembered. So it's a back and forth editing. But in terms of like at the present time when he's sitting in the room looking at a computer, there's literally just two angles. One is just like an extreme close-up of his shaking hand, and the other is just like from the side of him sitting there and acting. And there's nothing else. And it's such an important moment. You almost feel today, if people feel this scene, there would definitely be like 5 different angles covering this one part of acting. But in a drama, it's like, we're just gonna put the camera here, we're just gonna look at you, and then that's it. And weirdly enough, that almost makes that acting even stronger than, say, if they cut to different angles. It has the visceral and realistic energy to it that you can almost feel this is a real person. Imagining like if you have a friend who's going through a really difficult and emotional moment and you happen to be present, right? You would not be going around this person. You would not know what he or she looks like from all different angles. You were just looking at the person relative to where you are. And so I think that almost captures that very difficult, emotional, intense moment, probably just due to they don't have more angles to do or more cameras to cover it. I almost love this way of making drama better than the current way of just making everything look so perfect. The camera work is so smooth. The steady cam, the slow motion, you know, like 长安十二时辰, those explosion, oh my god, CGI heavy, so pretty. But the better it's made, it's like further away it is from you. And I think this particularly in contemporary drama, in sort of romantic drama, it's talking about, you know, like people who live in the 21st century story. The very showy camera work would not actually be very helpful because it will take you out of the context. It will make you feel like it's so unrealistic and polished. It's not real. Whereas this 10-year-old drama feels so real, so real. Everybody has their own voice. The environmental noise gets put in because it's you know, actual voice at the time recorded on set. It doesn't have those sort of polished ADR version that just doesn't have that realistic feeling to it. I would say when I first watched this drama, I was super surprised because I knew An Yixuan. At that time, she's already very well established actress. I know Wu Jinghao more as the singing, dancing artist. He was first sort of discovered and made known because of Meteor Garden, but then because F4 back then really is more like F2 plus 2, in which like Yan Chenxu and Zhou Yuming's characters are more important than Zhu Xiaotian and Wu Jianhao's characters. They are more like the tagged along and sidekick roles in Meteor Garden's world. And frankly speaking, Vanessa back then, he didn't really know anything about acting, and he can't even speak Chinese very well at the time. So all my impression of him is about him back then, and the only thing I can remember of him is just doing hair, you know, like almost every scene he's in Meteor Garden, he would just do This was his hair. He's doing that all the time. That's all I remember of him. When I watched this drama, I was super surprised and blown away. I was like, I didn't know he's an actual, proper, real actor. Before this drama, I would never even consider him being an actor, and I wouldn't put him like anywhere close to, say, Zhou Yiming or Yan Chenxu. After watching this drama, I was like, he's totally on par, he's even better. And then I was so happy because I was like, oh my god, it's like discovering a hidden treasure. If you are human with heart, you will be moved by this drama and by the story of the two lead characters. Oh, and there's one thing I forgot. When I rewatch this drama, back then people are so daring in terms of skinship. Yes, they actually film people like hugging and kissing for real, and kind of half naked for real. Skin, and it's like real people kissing, and clearly it's not, you know, cheating the camera angles. Wow. I was like, when it first got together, I was like, yay, that's like so nicely filmed. And again, very realistic, you know, it's like not trying to polish it to make it look better than what it is, but it's very daring. Like the camera just go on them, you know, like naked people. I haven't seen that in recent years in Chinese drama land, because I haven't seen that many dramas from Taiwan. You know, mainland Taiwan and Hong Kong are like the three big places of dramas in Chinese language. But in all the dramas I can remember in the sort of recent 3, 4, 5 years, I hardly see anything more than just a peck on the cheek or, you know, just a general kiss. Come to think about it, a couple of dramas do have very, you know, like passionate kissing scene, but skin in terms of like just get us naked it's like very hard to see that these days. They went for it. That's so cool. These days it's just like everything is so, people are walking, it's like walking on eggshells and being so careful about everything. That energy, that realistic, strong, visceral energy is kind of lost in a lot of drama telling, especially in China. And I think the situation is just getting worse. From a fangirl's point of view, you know, more skin, better. And let's be honest, you know, Vanessa's muscles and abs are just really nice to look at. So at the end of this video, I highly recommend you check out this drama if you haven't. And if you have, do you agree with me? Do you think it's like one of the best? Yeah, just such good characters and storytelling and just like beautiful moments and beautiful songs. You know, it's one, the Ding Dong's song, 我爱他, I love him, is my must sing song when I go to KTV in China. Every time I go with a friend, they know that song would be there somewhere during the session. 我爱他轰轰烈烈最疯狂，我的心狠狠伤过却不会忘。Every time I have to sing this song when I go to KTV. So that's the end of this video. Thank you for watching Avenue X. Please go and check out this drama. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching. 我奔腾的眼泪都停不下来，若那一刻重来，我不哭，让它知